And what if what we believed to be lost in the pages of time is slowly returning to light, little by little, from beneath the layers of the earth? Each unearthed stone, each deciphered inscription, feels as though history itself has begun to speak again, confirming what many once dismissed as mere faith or legend. Modern archaeology has shown that where there was once doubt, now there is evidence. Forgotten ruins, seals, tunnels, inscriptions, and sacred artifacts have been discovered for over a century, and each one seems to echo the same message. The Bible is not merely a book of beliefs, but a living record of human history. Today, you will discover 12 archaeological findings that continue to unveil the truth behind the scriptures. Silent yet powerful testimonies that unite science and faith, matter and spirit, the dust of the earth, and the eternal breath of divine words. From Egypt to Galilee, from the ruins of Jerusalem to the mountains of Judea, these discoveries compose a new chapter in sacred history. A chapter still being written, stone by stone, proof by proof, a journey where archaeology and faith converge. Discovery number 1. Warren's Shaft, the first access to ancient Jerusalem. In 1867, British explorer Charles Warren descended through a narrow fissure in the rocks beneath the Hill of Zion and made a discovery that would forever change the study of ancient Jerusalem. There, hidden beneath layers of stone and silence, lay a complex tunnel system connecting the Gihon Spring, the city's main water source, to the interior of the Jebusite walls. This tunnel, carved more than 3,000 years ago, served as a secret water access during sieges and wars, ensuring the inhabitants' survival. But what is most astonishing is its direct link to Scripture. In 2 Samuel 5:8, King David challenges his warriors to go up through the water shaft to conquer the fortress of the Jebusites. For centuries, scholars considered this passage symbolic, until the actual tunnel was found precisely where the text describes it. Hand-carved into the bedrock, with steps, corridors, and side chambers, the tunnel demonstrates an advanced understanding of hydraulic engineering for its time. Its precision, descending roughly 13 meters, about 43 feet, to reach the spring, reveals remarkable planning and skill. Even today, archaeologists can walk through it, feeling the cool flow of the same ancient waters. More than a technical feat, Warren's Shaft stands as a bridge between faith and history. It confirms that beneath modern Jerusalem lies the living framework of a city that exists exactly as ancient texts describe, a reminder that what was written endures, engraved not only in the pages of Scripture, but also in the very stones of the earth. Discovery number 2, the Palace of Hezekiah, the administrative heart of Jerusalem. Between Jerusalem and Bethlehem, among the gentle hills of Ramat Rahel, archaeologists uncovered one of the most impressive complexes from the Kingdom of Judah period, the royal palace attributed to King Hezekiah. Excavated beginning in the 1950s, the site revealed a monumental structure, paved courtyards, ornate columns, and administrative chambers that testify to Jerusalem's political and economic height in the 8th century BC. Countless royal seals inscribed with LMLK, the Hebrew expression meaning belonging to the king, were found there. These seals marked jars of oil and wine, showing that the site functioned as a collection and distribution center for the kingdom's resources. The hundreds of fragments discovered suggest an advanced, organized bureaucracy capable of sustaining the reforms and defenses Hezekiah implemented against the Assyrian threat. The king, remembered in Scripture for his faith and leadership in times of crisis, 2 Kings 18-20, appears here not only as a spiritual figure, but also as a strategist and administrator. Excavations revealed gardens, reservoirs, and even remnants of fortified walls protecting the palace, all designed with precision and care. The archaeological complex shows that Jerusalem was far more than a religious center. It was a powerful, planned, and influential capital. The palace at Ramat Rahel offers a window into the splendor of the Kingdom of Judah. Its ruins tell the story of a king who united faith and wisdom, spirituality and governance. Hezekiah prayed, but he also built. He trusted in God, yet prepared for war. And each stone of his palace seems to whisper the very words that defined his reign: faith, courage, and vision. Discovery number 3. The Merneptah, Stele, the first record of Israel outside the Bible. At the end of the 19th century, British archaeologist Flinders Petrie was working among the ruins of Thebes, Egypt, when he uncovered a black granite stele covered with hieroglyphs. Dated to around 1207 BC, it had been erected by Pharaoh Merneptah, the son of Ramses II, to commemorate his military victories over the peoples of Canaan. Among the many names inscribed on the stone, one drew particular attention from scholars: Israel. This is the earliest extra-biblical mention of the people of Israel in all of archaeology. The text describes Israel not as a territory, but as an already established ethnic group in the region, confirming that by the 13th century BC, the Israelites existed as a recognized entity in the eyes of the Egyptians. Until this discovery, many critics regarded the Exodus and the conquest of Canaan as late or symbolic traditions. But the Merneptah stele revealed that, long before the era of kings and prophets, there was already in Canaan a people identified as Israel, distinct enough to be remembered by Egyptian scribes. Now housed in the Cairo Museum, the stele is more than a record of war. It is an open window to the past, where history and faith converge in a single line carved in stone. A line that has echoed for over 3,000 years, proving that Israel, both as a nation and as a divine promise, was already present on the stage of the ancient world, exactly as the Bible describes. Discovery number 4. The Lachish Ostraca, Voices from a Kingdom on the Brink of Collapse. Between 1935 and 1938, during excavations at the ancient fortified city of Lachish in southern Israel, British archaeologists unearthed a collection of pottery fragments covered with inscriptions in ancient Hebrew. These clay shards, known as ostraca, contained ink-written messages, military and administrative correspondence exchanged between officers of Judah shortly before the Babylonian invasion in the early 6th century BC. The letters were found near the city's main gate, in a guardroom that likely served as a communications center. What they reveal is moving: defense orders, pleas for reinforcements, and desperate reports of the enemy's advance. In one ostracon, a soldier writes, "We are watching for the fire signals of Lachish, according to those of Azekah, for we no longer see the signal of Azekah." Soon after, both cities would fall to Nebuchadnezzar's forces, exactly as described in Jeremiah 34:7. These fragments reveal more than historical facts. They capture human emotion, the final words of a people watching their nation crumble, hastily recorded on clay before destruction came. The ostraca preserve the exact moment when faith, fear, and duty intertwined. Today, they stand among the most poignant witnesses of the Old Testament era. Every stroke of ink is the echo of a watchman who remained faithful to the end. Etched into the fragile lines of those broken shards, the voices of Lachish still speak, reminding the world that biblical history was shaped not only by kings and prophets, but also by ordinary men who lived and died believing in God's promises. Discovery number 5. The Stone House of Nazareth, a vestige of the village. Where Jesus grew up in 2009, archaeologists working beneath the ruins of an ancient Byzantine monastery in Nazareth uncovered something extraordinary: the remains of a simple house built of limestone blocks and rough mortar, dating to the 1st century. Excavations revealed partially intact walls, a courtyard, a rock-cut cistern, and a small domestic storage area. It was a typical Galilean dwelling from the time of Jesus, modest yet cleverly constructed. The tools, pottery, and coins found on site indicate that it was inhabited by an ordinary Jewish family, faithful to purity laws and to the agricultural rhythms of the region. Carbon analysis and architectural style confirm that the site dates precisely to the period in which the Gospels place the childhood of Christ. Above this ancient home, in the 4th century, Byzantine Christians built a shrine. evidence that the site was already revered as the place where Jesus lived with Mary and Joseph. Archaeological findings also confirm that Nazareth, though small, indeed existed in the 1st century, refuting old theories that it was a later invention of the Gospel writers. The stone house of Nazareth is silent yet eloquent. Within its rough walls still echoes the simplicity of daily life in Galilee. And for those who believe, every fragment of its masonry seems to hold the memory of the home where the Word became flesh, where the history of the world began to change quietly. Discovery number 6, the Pool of Siloam, the meeting point of faith and history. In 2004, during drainage works in Jerusalem, workers accidentally uncovered ancient stone steps. The excavations that followed revealed a large pool-shaped structure supplied by a channel from the Gihon spring. It soon became clear this was the Pool of Siloam, mentioned several times in Scripture and the setting of one of the most striking miracles in the New Testament. The Bible recounts in John 9:7 that Jesus sent a blind man to wash in Siloam, and upon doing so, he received his sight. For centuries, scholars believed this pool was either symbolic or lost to time. But archaeology brought to light a real reservoir with wide steps, access corridors, and signs of heavy public use, a place of purification and gathering for Jerusalem's inhabitants during the Second Temple period. The limestone blocks, still visible today, show traces of erosion from running water, and pottery fragments found along the edges confirm intense activity during the 1st century. The discovery, located precisely along the ancient pilgrimage route ascending to the Temple Mount, connects the Gospel narrative to a tangible, physical space visited by thousands before Jerusalem's destruction in 70 AD. The Pool of Siloam is more than an architectural remnant. It is a living testimony to the harmony between text and soil, between faith and history. Every stone of its steps seems to echo the words that have endured through the ages. Go, wash in the Pool of Siloam. And those who do, even now, see more clearly the power that unites spirit and reality. Discovery number 7, the coins of Pontius Pilate. The echo of Roman power in the Holy Land. Between AD 29 and 31, the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, who ruled Judea under Emperor Tiberius, ordered the minting of a series of bronze coins remarkable for their precision and symbolism. Numerous specimens have been unearthed in Jerusalem, Caesarea Maritima, and other parts of Judea, offering a direct witness to the authority that governed the land where Jesus lived. The coins bear inscriptions in Greek and traditional Roman symbols such as the lituus, the augur's staff, and the simpulum, a small ritual ladle. To Jewish eyes, these symbols were impure, reflecting the deep tension between imperial rule and local faith. On the obverse appears the name of Tiberius Caesar. On the reverse, the inscription identifying Pontius Pilate as the issuing authority, confirming his administrative control over the region. These small artifacts, precisely dated to the years of Christ's ministry, are the only physical records produced under the government of the man who, according to the Gospels, authorized Jesus' crucifixion. Each coin is thus a tangible fragment of a decisive moment in history, the meeting between Rome and redemption. To hold one of these coins is to feel the past made physical. Pilate's name, engraved in bronze, has crossed 2 millennia to remind us that the events of the Gospels unfolded within a real context, with rulers, laws, and symbols we can still see and touch. A silent testimony that the Christian faith was born within history, not apart from it. Discovery number 8, the Synagogue of Capernaum, where the words came to life. On the shores of the Sea of Galilee, among the ruins of ancient Capernaum, stands one of the most significant archaeological sites of the New Testament, the synagogue where Jesus taught. Excavations begun in the late 19th century revealed the foundations of a 1st century structure upon which, centuries later, a larger white limestone synagogue was built, still visible today. The lower layers, made of the region's characteristic black basalt, belonged to the period of Jesus' ministry. It was there, according to Mark 1:21-27 and John 6:59, that he taught with authority and performed miracles, leaving his listeners astonished. The discovery confirmed not only the existence of Capernaum as a thriving town in the 1st century, but also the presence of an organized, active Jewish community, precisely as described in the Gospels. Excavations uncovered columns, steps, mosaics, and inscriptions in both Aramaic and Greek, mentioning donations from local families for the synagogue's upkeep. Evidence suggests it was the spiritual and social heart of the village. Surrounding it were narrow streets and simple fishermen's homes, one traditionally identified as Peter's house. The synagogue of Capernaum is more than a ruin. It is a living witness to the setting where the words of Christ first resonated. Each stone still holds the silence of a crowd that once heard him speak of the kingdom of heaven. And before these ancient columns, modern visitors realize that Christian faith was born in a real place, among real people, beneath the same Galilean sun that still shines upon those sacred stones. Discovery number 9. Herod's Palace at Masada, the Throne. Over the desert, atop a steep cliff overlooking the Dead Sea, stands the fortress of Masada, one of the most spectacular architectural achievements of King Herod the Great. Excavated during the 1960s and 1970s by Israeli archaeologist Ewangelia Jana, the citadel revealed a monumental palace built between 37 and 31 BC, divided into 3 terraces that testify to the luxury and ingenuity of the monarch who ruled Judea under Roman authority. The complex included courtyards, banquet halls, thermal baths, storerooms, fortification walls, watchtowers, and even an advanced cistern system capable of storing millions of liters of water, brought from the desert through aqueducts and channels. Every detail was meticulously planned, transforming the barren mountaintop into an almost impregnable refuge. Herod built Masada both as a military stronghold and as a symbol of power, a throne of stone facing the wilderness. But centuries later, this site would become the stage for one of the most dramatic episodes in Jewish history. After the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70, Jewish rebels fled there and withstood a Roman siege for 3 years. When the fortress was finally breached, its defenders chose death over slavery, an act remembered to this day as a symbol of courage and faith. The ruins of Masada unite the splendor of a king with the sacrifice of a people. Every stone of Herod's palace reflects the contrast between earthly power and the spiritual longing for freedom. And before the silent desert, the echo of those lost lives still seems to whisper, "No empire, however great, can subdue the human spirit that refuses to bow." Discovery. Number 10. The ossuary of Caiaphas, the tomb of the high priest. In 1990, during excavations in an ancient family tomb in southern Jerusalem, archaeologists unearthed a richly decorated limestone box known as an ossuary, a container used by 1st century Jews to store the bones of the deceased after decomposition. The inscription carved on its side read, Yehoseph bar Caiapha, meaning Joseph, son of Caiaphas. The name immediately drew scholarly attention. In the Gospels, Caiaphas is the high priest who presided over the trial of Jesus and handed him over to the Roman authorities, Matthew 26:57-68, John 18:13-28. The inscription matches both Jewish and Roman historical sources, identifying Caiaphas as Joseph, son of Caiaphas, a member of an influential priestly family. The ossuary, richly adorned with floral and geometric motifs, stands apart from the simpler boxes found in the same tomb, signaling the social and religious prominence of its owner. Inside were the bones of a man about 60 years old, consistent with the period when Caiaphas would have served as high priest, between AD 18 and 36. This discovery provides a direct link between the archaeological record and the gospel narrative. The name that once resounded in the Passion story, the man who questioned Jesus on the night before the crucifixion, reappears carved in stone, preserved for nearly 2 millennia. The ossuary of Caiaphas is more than a funerary relic. It is a tangible reminder that the events of Scripture occurred in real time, involving real people whose lives left traces not only in faith, but in the very soil they walked upon. Discovery number 11. The ruins of Hazor, the city. Joshua burned. In northern Israel, at the foot of the Galilean hills, lie the massive ruins of Hazor, one of the largest and most powerful Canaanite city-states mentioned in the Bible. Excavations beginning in the 1950s under archaeologist Ewangelia Jana uncovered a vast fortified metropolis that once housed around 40,000 inhabitants, a regional empire of palaces, temples, and massive defensive walls. Amid the layers of occupation, archaeologists found something extraordinary. A thick layer of ash and destruction dating to roughly the 13th century BC, the same period the Bible attributes to Joshua's conquest of Canaan. Intense burning, vitrified stones, and melted pottery fragments reveal that the city was destroyed by a massive fire. Joshua 11:10-13 records that the Israelite leader captured Hazor, killed its king Jabin, and set the city on fire. For generations, this account was dismissed as allegory. Yet the archaeological evidence aligns with a sudden, violent destruction, after which Hazor lay in ruins for centuries before being rebuilt. Cuneiform tablets discovered on site also indicate diplomatic and commercial ties between Hazor and great powers like Egypt and Mesopotamia, underscoring its former importance before the fall. These findings reinforce the magnitude of the event that brought its dominance to an end. Today, the ruins of Hazor stand as a silent witness to the ancient promise of conquest recorded in Scripture. Among layers of hardened ash and scorched stone, archaeology and the Bible meet once again, revealing that even the mightiest walls can fall when history follows the path set by the hand of God. Discovery number 12. The Eastern Gate of Jerusalem. The gate through which the Messiah will come, on the eastern wall of Jerusalem's old city, stands a silent and mysterious structure. The Eastern Gate, also known as the Golden Gate. Facing directly toward the Mount of Olives, it is the only one of the city's 8 gates that has remained sealed for centuries, and its meaning bridges history, faith, and prophecy. Archaeological layers reveal that beneath the current gate, which dates to the Byzantine period or slightly later, lie foundations even older, possibly from the time of the Second Temple or earlier. This indicates that the site has maintained the same alignment and sacred significance for millennia. According to ancient Jewish and Christian traditions, it was through this gate that the divine presence, the Shekinah, entered the temple, and it is through this very gate that the Messiah is prophesied to return and restore Jerusalem. The prophet Ezekiel, in Ezekiel 44:1-3, wrote, "This gate shall remain shut, it shall not be opened, and no one shall enter by it, for the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered by it. Therefore it shall remain shut." Archaeology confirms that the gate was indeed sealed during the Ottoman rule in the 16th century, when Suleiman the Magnificent ordered it to be walled up, perhaps as a symbolic attempt to prevent the fulfillment of prophecy. Today, the Eastern Gate stands as a monument of faith and mystery. Viewed from the Mount of Olives, it dominates the Jerusalem skyline like a sentinel of time, guarding stories that unite past and future hope. Each stone of its facade bears centuries of prayer, expectation, and promise. And in its silence endures an ancient certainty. The gate may be closed, but the promise remains open. These discoveries are far more than fragments of the past. They are silent witnesses linking archaeology with faith, matter with hope, and the dust of the earth with eternal promises. Each stone, each inscription, and each ruin testifies that sacred history is not myth, but memory, living, precise, and profound. And much remains to be revealed. Beneath the sands of the desert and the streets of Jerusalem lie secrets still waiting for their appointed time to emerge. With every new excavation, the ancient becomes present, and the word is confirmed once more. What do these discoveries say to you? Share your thoughts in the comments, reflect, Question, engage. Because the story we are rediscovering belongs to all of us, where faith meets evidence and the past reveals the eternal. May God bless you, and see you soon.